be eager to join the action should they be called upon. Any moment from now, we will have the kickoff for the match. Battle for 90 minutes. Thank you for joining us. My name is Prince Anand, and I will stay with you from start to the end of this afternoon's encounter. Final prayers being said by Epiphany Warriors. Meanwhile, Halifax have started forming their bit of the circle for the engagement of a minute's silence in honor of the departed Kotoko fan who tragically lost his life at Nswatre. One minute silence being observed here this afternoon, and we're going to be seeing the same thing in all matches, including Division 1, all zones, as well as the Women's Premier League. This is in honor of the departed Kotoko fan, popularly known as Pole Francis Frimpong, losing his life in action for Kotoko. With the 1 minute, observed, silence observed, that is, we are now good to go. Hostilities will begin shortly. Officials will ensure that all is just about set in terms of checking the goal posts, checking the net, checking the corners. And once all that is done, Sufa Azuma usher the two teams into action. That's the clarion call from Epiphany Warriors, getting themselves ready for action. So far, the center referee is ready, and Halifax will also do their bit of the clarion call. All that sorted out, we are just about to commence this game. Malta Guinness Women's Premier League match between Epiphany Warriors and Halifax Gueens. Joining me in commentary position is Josiah Oko-Aye, who will definitely be bringing us up to speed with the little bits of pointers in the game. Here we go, and it's Halifax who have kicked off, and they're playing from left to right on your screens. And at the moment, it will be Epiphany Warriors who would have some defending to do as they seek to come forward. Ball comes close to Precious Nyako. Precious Nyako's pass was a bit faulty, could not be trapped by Jacqueline. And it's going to be another throw-in for the Queens of Halifax. The long throw there, ably by Captain Millicent Pokwa. She gains another advantage as the team comes forward. Free kick advantage, early stages of the game. It's free kick for Halifax. Centered into the 18-yard box. The header is on, but not the best of headers. They will still keep the taps close. Eventually, it's a big boot for a clearance. Out of danger zone. Halifax remain dangerous, and that floated, sailed over the top, putting a lot of pressure on goalkeeper Safiatu Salifu, but she had no problems dealing with that. Good ball control is still in play. Can they get a decent crossing? It's going to be the first of its kind in terms of attack for Epiphany. Halifax under pressure, but Epiphany will still come forward. They have a glorious opportunity to do just that, and it could be the first goal, or it missed narrowly. And that was a threatening move on the part of Halifax. Captain Letitia Ajay getting involved early in the game.
The defense of Halifax Gueens have to try to she's the target lead for them at Epiphany. She's also the highest scoring player in the second zone. You can see her positioning around it. It's always dangerous. Nobody watching it.
Long ball in, careful defending by the Warriors of Epiphany. They give the ball away easily. The Queens on the offensive, but again Epiphany Warriors sort themselves out. Gradually they move forward. Lovely pass from Grace Edumadze. Ball goes over the line.
You'll be thinking the referee would have played an advantage to Halifax Queens. Yeah, that was a late challenge on Ifie Ejewa Akusia. You could see she just stuck her leg into the approaching tackle of the Epiphany Warriors player.
Long ball forward by Precious Nyako. Ball control, they maintain possession, and then it's a long one forward, headed out of danger zone. The Queens looking for an opportunity to move forward. Good ball control. Tough decision to clear or to boot out. Some strong challenge there involving Janet Amewudu.
That's where the dominance begins. It's all about the 50-50 balls, and neither of these two teams are willing to give up on these balls. The 50-50 balls, very, very important. You can see how combative and rugged it's been.
It's a long ball into the 18-yard box. Goalkeeper will have to be called upon. And Safiatu scores 4 marks. Keeping it tight as they come forward. But so far, everything that has been thrown at Epiphany Warriors has been worked out nicely. Jessica on the threshold of an attack. There's an opportunity for Halifax Queens. They've got options on both sides. Safiatu runs after that and makes a firm save.
I think she should be communicating very well with the back line. You can see the intentions from Halifax Queens trying to play those long balls right behind the back line of the Epiphany Warriors, and this time it was the alertness and also the swiftness of the goalkeeper.
Well, unfortunately, Jennifer gets the ball away. Janet, that was Amewudu. She has a second opportunity. She deals with it nicely and then puts the ball into perspective. Sweet build up now from Epiphany, and they look dangerous when they get onto the attack. Ball control, ball sent back. Coaches are on their feet issuing instructions. Unfortunately, this time around, Halifax failing to take up the option. And there'll be a lot of defending to be done by the Queens of Halifax. Nicely done. Gets herself out of trouble, but unfortunately could not go too far. Faustina Nyame that was. And this time the pass is a bit too strong.
And they're struggling to settle down Epiphany Warriors. You can see The midfield department looks okay, the attack okay as well, but the defense yet to settle.
Lovely pass through the middle. Safiatu once again. But that was a gorgeous pass from Akosua Ejewa. Halifax come forward yet again. Unfortunately, failing to stop the ball dead in its tracks. Rita Doku missing the opportunity, giving the advantage to Epiphany Warriors.
They've been a delight to watch so far, and that was that earlier pass. Been threaded through, carefully, tailor measured. But I think the goalkeeper of Epiphany Warriors, Safiatu Salifu, has been on alert. She's been steady and she's dealt with all those loose balls.
Once again, easy clearance, but not done to the best of their ability. Sonia, the goalkeeper, will be called into action. Halifax now coming forward, putting a lot of pressure on the defense of Epiphany Warriors, that time Patience Pratt.
Yeah, she's playing as a makeshift right back this afternoon. She plays predominantly as a centre back, today being deployed to operate from the right hand side of defense.
Throw into Halifax. Shot on target, didn't go too far. Got defending from Epiphany. No clear-cut situations in terms of goal scoring for both sides. Of course, Epiphany could have shot themselves ahead. So did Halifax as they come forward yet again. Trapped nicely by Captain Millicent. Easy clearance for a throw.
Yeah, Cynthia J again at the defensive end for Epiphany Warriors. It looks like they've got most of the defending to do in the first half, opening 8 minutes already. The Halifax Queens knocking on the doors, asking all the questions that we're hoping to get their noses in front, at least with this corner kick.
Corner kick advantage, Halifax Queens, to be affected by Captain Millicent Pokua. It's a long corner kick. Eventual clearance, not the best, still dangling in the 18-yard box. Can the Queens take advantage of this? Unfortunately, still battling with it on the far side. Referee notices an infringement, gives the advantage to Halifax Queens.
And the culprit happens to be Patience Pratt. Spoke about her earlier on. She's a centre back today, being deployed at the right back position, and you can see she's already been targeted by the left winger of Halifax Queens with those one-on-one situations.
Free kick to Halifax Queens. This will go deep, but it goes straight into the waiting arms of goalkeeper Safiatu Salifu. She's proved that she's agile in the first few minutes of the game. Nearly losing ball control. Halifax will take over. They love operating from the right-hand side of their attack as Millicent makes the dash but can't get to the ball.
Again, Epiphany Warriors nearly carved open. They look a bit jittery at the back. Just look at that. Players in no man's land. About 4 of them. And you could see that was an overhead pass. Could have been dangerous for them. They look a bit nervy at the back. They've not really strung the passes together like we normally see them do. But perhaps you could say it's due to the fact that it's the first time they're playing at home on this venue, but it's still no excuse. They've been a very tough team in the first round.
Good spin of the ball as Epiphany looking at their chances. Nice shot it was though, but it just lacked the direction. Once again, Letitia Ajay probing for the first goal.
Yeah, and it's that partnership again, Jacqueline and Toso from the left-hand side, and then Letitia J who leads the attack for Epiphany Warriors. And that's one thing they have, the chemistry, between those two players is just a delight to watch. Just look at that, the earlier ball, the pass, and then the return pass to Letitia, who could only hit from a distance, but that was just promising from Epiphany Warriors.
It's a free kick advantage to Epiphany Warriors. Coming into this game after a 2-1 victory over Faith Ladies, and so obviously inspired by that victory, they would want to do the double here this afternoon. Halifax Gueens will have a lot of defending to do. They lost on match day 10 against Jonina Ladies. It's a shot against the wall. Poorly taken free kick by Deborah Nyako. Ball is brought back. They're looking for another opportunity to spring a surprise. It's taken away by the Queens of Halifax, and it goes over the line for a throw. Through the middle now, Epiphany would reorganize and come forward. Too weighty a pass dealt with, and Millicent is on the threshold of another move. She has seen a lot of the ball and has been involved with every attempt by Halifax.
Yeah, despite the fact that she's playing as a right back, she's really, orchestrated most of the attacks.
Timely clearance, and a strong one too. Cynthia Ajay standing tall. Throw in. Millicent throws the ball down. She's expecting a return pass. She gets it. She sends in the cross. Not the best of crosses. Good clearance from Epiphany. And it looks like this could be a chase and a run for it, as Epiphany are looking tight into the 18-yard box. Goalkeeper comes out. She doesn't get there early enough. It's an opportunity. My word. Can we call that timely intervention?
That was timely, but then also a wasted opportunity on the part of Letitia J. Just look at that. Perfectly worked. It was a 2v1 situation. It was laid onto her path. All she should have done was to just think that one over the goalkeeper. She couldn't, but that was timely intervention. Just look at that. Two players putting their bodies on the line.
This is dedication in defense, D&D, as Epiphany come up with a corner kick. Lays on the pass to the near side, and then it's floated. Heads go up, still dangling in the 18-yard box. An opportunity for Queens to clear. They do clear, and they have an opportunity to sprint forward. Lovely pass over the legs, and then she gives the ball away. Not too comfortable, a build up from Theresa Ano, but they go through the middle. Letitia brings the ball down, lays on the pass. It's been a lot of positivity in terms of attack by Epiphany Warriors. Good ball control, but she pushed it on a bit too far. Took a dive in the process.
Yeah, that was a late challenge on her. Nearly dangerous again. I think another touch of the ball, or even if she could have gotten closer to it, would have been very dangerous. And that's what they have. That's one of the strengths of Epiphany Warriors. They are very, very pacey, wingers that with the ball and also in 1v1 situations are always dangerous to deal with, and that's what they are trying to capitalize on.
Free kick advantage. It could pose a problem for Halifax Queens. Goalkeeper issuing out instructions. Sonia, compared to her opposite number, has been on a holiday. Nicely floated, free kick in. Goalkeeper goes down. It's still kept in play though by Halifax Queens. Captain takes the initiative. Over the line, he goes for a throw-in.
It seems that goalkeeper is in some sort of pain over there after that failed clearance, and that was the earlier free kick from Deborah Nyako into the box, and there was no pressure at all, but I think she collided with her own player. That's Rita Duku. She would need some medical attention, I believe. But they've been decent defensively, Halifax Queens. They've been okay. Earlier on, we saw them posing all the threat, the attacks. But now, in the last 5 minutes or so, they've had all the defending to do, but they've responded equally very well.
Goalkeeper Sonia Kobna-Nora is still down. A bit of a clash with one of her players when the free kick was taken. "16 minutes gone in the first half. Still goalless here at the Prisons Bostal AstroTurf. And Sonia seems to be okay. Referee Sofa Azuma has seen to that. And so game will continue with a throw-in. Advantage Queens. Millicent initiating another of those attacks. Ball has been brought down nicely, but then eventual clearance into touch for a throw-in. Millicent with a throw. Poorly controlled. Yet another throw-in to Halifax. Flag has gone up, and the advantage will go the way of Epiphany Warriors.
They've been very aggressive, Halifax Queens. That's one aspect you can see they've really improved. In the first half, you wouldn't, or in the first round of the league, you wouldn't see that about them. In games they lost, they were losing the 50-50 battle. But this afternoon, they're impressive with how they've got about that, winning all the 50-50 balls and then also pressing very, very high, forcing mistakes of the Epiphany Warriors defense.
Nice cross there from Millicent, but there's nobody there in contention. They will try and regather as they come forward. There's a long shot on target, and Safia to the rescue.
It's about the third time we've seen them strike the ball from such a distance. The last one just hit the woodwork, with nearly caught Safia off guard. And
appeals for the free kick, but referee says game should continue. Halifax Queens also give the ball away.
you can see why the technical bench of Epiphany Warriors look furious. They were thinking that should have been a foul, which myself, I was thinking that should have been a foul going the way of Epiphany Warriors, but I think that was at the hindsight of the referee, who just didn't notice that.
Game will continue. Drop ball situation. Safiatu Salifo. She's been very impressive in the first 19 minutes of this game. Kicks the ball out. Can Millicent keep it in play? She does, and Halifax will say thank you very much as they come forward. Now here's an opportunity. Jacqueline. Good turn. Yes, Letitia. Pushed forward nicely. Precious is getting a lot more involved in the game now, but that eventual pass, referee noticed an infringement in the process. Player goes down. Was she tripped or kicked from behind?
I was thinking she collided with her own player, but the referee thinks otherwise, and that's a move of the, the flick with the nutmeg again, and that's it, with her own player. And that was Deborah Nyako, who was thinking that Faustina Tiwa was just going to leave that ball to her for her to deal with it.
Obviously in pain there, Faustina. Referee still thinks she would give the advantage to Epiphany. Opportunity once again for Epiphany Warriors. We've got two players behind the ball. Precious is one of them. It's a long kick into the 18-yard box and eventually cleared away by Rita.
Aqua. Shouldn't have done that, but again, the referee decides to keep her cards in the pocket. But again, it's a free kick in a promising area where you should expect Epiphany Warriors to, try and get something out of this one. I've said it, whoever scores the first goal would really have a major impact in the final result of this game.
It's a free kick advantage to Epiphany. It's long, it's deep, goalkeeper beaten, but eventually had to rely on the defense for the clearance. Epiphany still have that intent of getting close to goal. Long pass to the far end, and that's a very lovely pass. A tricky one at that, into the 18-yard box. A shot gathered nicely by goalkeeper Sonia. She seems to have recovered from that early injury scare.
Prince, what about that for a pass from the centre back Janet Ameudu, to find Grace, and she does so well, to check onto her left foot, which is a weaker foot actually, but that wasn't going to trouble the goalkeeper at all. She had options to have passed that ball as well, but it tells you the level of confidence these players sometimes play with.
Queens on the threshold of an attack, a shot on target. Safiatou failed to deal with it first time, but eventually gathers no problems at all.
She's been their best player so far. Those opening 23 minutes or so.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But she has competition now because the first choice goalkeeper from last season got injured, went for a surgery. She's now back in training.
Good ball control by Letitia, but the ball is taken away from her. And Safiatou, as always, alert. Yes, Precious. Precious goes past one. There's a pass through the middle. That's good thinking. And Epiphany at this stage will try and open up the game as they switch play from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, where it is easily picked up by Janet Ameudu. Careful build-up by Epiphany Warriors. Finding women in open spaces. Right passes being employed. A dash on the far left now. She's going alone. She's been hotly challenged. Good skill. Goes past the second. Can she lay a pass through the middle? Intercepted nicely. And then eventually Epiphany work themselves out of danger zone. Captain Letitia falling back. Halifax thought that whistle was for them.
I think Letitia J has been great, tracking back and doing some bit of defending. Just look at that. That was a good move. Just trying to go around her marker, Esther Boache, stopping the tracks over there. It was a good call from the referee, playing the advantage for them. But I think they need to be more decisive in the final third. Epiphany Warriors, we've seen them progress the ball into some dangerous areas, but the connection sometimes seems to be lacking.
Captain once again get involved. Good fighting spirit. They still have the ball to themselves, but eventually the final delivery not the best.
It's gradually becoming their bane in this game so far. In this game, they really need to work on that. They need to be very decisive and also, concise whenever they end up in the final third of attack. You'd give credit to the Halifax Queens defense, but I believe Epiphany Warriors have also done so well trying to get the ball into attack.
The free handled the ball, and so she gives the advantage to Precious and her colleagues from Epiphany Warriors. 26 minutes gone. Thank you very much for joining us. You're watching this action live on Max TV as we bring you the best of Women's Premier League action, particularly the Malta Guinness Women's Premier League.
That's a huge relief for the defense. And see that stern warning going to Letitia J. And it's been the nature of the game so far. The robustness, how combative and aggressive it's been so far. And you wouldn't fault either side. Like I said, it's always been more like a rivalry between these two teams from their days in the Division 1 and all.
Halifax Gueens looking dangerous as they come forward. Eventually ball has been taken away from Theresa Ano. The Queens have the advantage though. Throw-in quickly effected. They have only 2 players in the 18-yard box. Wondering how they would want to score with less disadvantage.
But they're a team that normally tries on those long balls and long shots as well.
Safiatu is there to pick up the pieces for Epiphany. The charge was a bit thrustful from Theresa Ano, but it lacked the final delivery. Headed down by Captain Letitia, expecting a pass, but this time it's picked up by Jacqueline. Options for a shot on target. They rather go for the chip, and Sonia reacts positively. She loses the ball in possession. Thankfully, group of players there to clear the ball out, including a free hit. Captain will come in to support at any time. There's Millicent. Lays a pass to a free hit, Jewa Akosia. And it looks like Epiphany not wanting their opponents to cross the halfway line, so they pick up the pieces in their half. They come forward. Lovely chip. Quick thinking as Captain clears out. It's looking good now from the far right. Can she get a shot on target? That was another close shave.
Earlier on, we questioned, the involvement of the laterals in the attacking phases, and now you could see that just one dart and run, from deep, just set it up, and just look at that. No one tracking her run, and the first touch was good, but I think the finishing was lacking. That Jessica appears somewhat playing more as a central midfielder today for them, and thinking that they should have just made this one count. They've had so many chances come their way, but we've not really seen anything meaningful from all the chances they've created.
Game will continue as we hit the half-hour mark. Good ball control, but it's been taken away from the free hit. Safiatu is there to deal with the pieces.
She's been very responsive, very responsive. Her level of awareness is something to reckon. She's done so well, and that helps Epiphany Warriors sometimes play with the high line, because they know they have a very active goalkeeper who always loves to get off her line, and do the sweeping for them.
Cleared out, but not the best of clearances. Epiphany still have the advantage, but referee will give the advantage to Queens.
That was a good call. I think the tackle was a bit late on her.
Well, thankfully, Saidatu Wahab is back on her feet. Game will continue after this water break. We've hit the half-hour mark, so we've got about 15 minutes to end the first half. It's been good so far, seeing action, especially in this second round of the Women's Premier League. 100 matches were honored after 10 rounds of match play. 45 home wins were recorded, 30 away wins as well. 25 matches ended in a draw. We also had 247 goals being scored, with 138 of them at home and 109 of them away. Out of that, 121 goals were scored in the first half, and 126 goals were scored in the second half. And so, at least Women's Premier League, women's football growing in leaps and bounds. When we go to the Northern Zone, Ampim Darkwan's ace, that's Mariam Ponsan, leads the top scorers chart with an impressive 14 goals, with the Southern Zone producing the record of clean sheets, and that's Hazaka's ladies, Grace Banwa. And so some decent statistics for the Women's Premier League, as the national team will be on the field in a couple of days as Ghana faces Morocco as part of the build-up in terms of preparation for the women's AFCON. And so slowly but surely women's football is on the ascendancy.
Most definitely, I can't agree more with you, Prince. And you just look at what we've witnessed here in the last 30 minutes or so, and it's just been great. And if you're talking about women's football now, that I believe that it's really grown, beyond leaps and bounds, like you said. And you still watch, some budding talent, and you just look at the national teams, the under-20 side, the female national team itself as the Black Queens, and that the future is very, very bright.
Ball safely in the custody of Safiatou. She releases a long one, brought down nicely by Jacqueline Intoso. Flag goes up on the near side for offside.
That was tight. It was on Teresa.
Yep.
Yeah,
very tight.
You could see her, running in from an offside position, and she failed to time her run. But there again, for the high line, especially with a sweeper goalkeeper.
Easy clearance for Halifax.
I think she needs to be timing her runs so far, being caught offside in a space of just about 40 seconds.
Nicely controlled by Letitia. It's a throw in. Letitia, the captain for Epiphany Warriors, heavily marked by the captain for Halifax Queens. It's pushed forward again, but there are no white shirts to challenge for that. Coming from a distance now as they decide to take a shot on target, but completely off target it went from Deborah.
I think she had space up front. She had players waiting, to run into spaces, expecting the ball, but quite overly ambitious there from Deborah Nyako. And with a 4-4-2 being deployed by Coach Selassie for Epiphany Warriors, I'm thinking that we could see the connection between the attackers for Epiphany Warriors, Letitia J, and then also Faustina Tiwa. We've not really seen that, materialize this afternoon, but I think one or two instructions from the coach could help them, turn things around.
It's a battle royale on the far side, but the flag goes up again. Offside positioning.
Another close call, this time on Gloria playing at the left wing position for Halifax Queens. I think they've made good use of the 4-3-3, playing very expansive, trying to crowd the middle sometimes, but I think they need to make good use of their chances.
Now here comes another opportunity for Halifax Queens. They don't have committed place in the 18-yard box, but this time it's good enough. Safiatou misses it, and the finishing was spot on. This obviously would ginger Halifax Queens coming into this game beaten on match day 10 and occupying the last but one position on the league table. Good enough finish.
Yeah, it was coming. We spoke about the high line from Epiphany Warriors, and just look at that, trying to go a bit narrow. About 4 or so players, Liv and Teresa at the left hand side, the far left hand side. That was the earlier offside call, but just look at that. You can see about 4 players trying to win that ball, and I'm thinking Safiatou could have done better on that occasion. Yes, there was a bit of power behind that ball. Not a shot that should be beating her from that range, but Rita making no mistake from that position.
It's Epiphany Warriors 0. Halifax Queens 1. Halifax on the threshold of another build-up. Kept in play, nicely done. Goes past her marker with ease. She comes into the 18-yard box, lays on the pass, but this time too feeble.
Yeah, I think the fallback system of Epiphany Warriors keeps being exposed here this afternoon, and always find themselves in that 2v1 situation, sometimes 4v3, making it very difficult for them.
The long legs of a free Ejewa, ably justifying her ease with which she gets to the ball.
That was quite dangerous from Janet Amudo, you know, on Akosia. It's a very, very cynical challenge. Very, very fortunate not to enter into the referee's books over there. Just look at that. And a straight leg towards, you know, the abdomen of the opponent. Quite dangerous sprint.
Two players of her Halifax Queens on the ground. She receives quick attention. She will be on her feet, up and about, without a doubt.
She should be. We've spoken about the fine margins in the game. You know, if you are able to make good use of the chances, then definitely. But I think that was miscommunication on the part of the two centre backs of the Epiphany Warriors, and then also the defensive.
Failing to deal with it first time, and this is the first time she's made such a costly mistake, and yeah, she's had to pay for it. She's
been decent all game. You know, she's cleared the lines. She's kept her sheet so clean up until that moment. Yeah, you could see the striker, you know, just opening herself up, just trying to get the technique right, which she did. But I don't think, you know, the pace behind that ball, the power behind that ball should be beaten a goalkeeper of her class.
Oh, very unfortunate. But it's been good enough for Halifax Queens. They're up by 1. And with just about 6 minutes remaining till the end of the first half, I'm sure they would pretty much want to double the effort or go into the halftime break with that single goal. It's a long ball forward, headed out. Rita once again, this time she couldn't get to the ball. She didn't get a full blast of the ball. That's the goal scorer of the first goal, Rita Doku. Lovely pass to the far side there by Letitia Ejay. Trapped beautifully. Can she go past her marker? She's still battling for survival. Indeed, she goes round her. Wins a corner kick for her effort.
Yeah, that's a lightning speed from Jessica Piasamoa, playing at the right hand side of attack for Epiphany Warriors this afternoon. That's one of the tricks, you know. She's very, very tricky, pacey, and good also.
Well, it looks like Epiphany Warriors would want to bring on some fresh limbs. Patience Pra, I think, is being sacrificed. Sandra Sari takes her place just before the corner kick. Not the best of corner kicks. Big boot for a clearance, but it doesn't go too far. Epiphany Warriors will still come forward, this time through the middle. Careful passing from Jacqueline. Halifax Queens having a lot of defending to do.
And you know what, I'm not really surprised about that substitution. Very, very early, you know, before the stroke of halftime. Epiphany Warriors head coach Selassie bringing on another player for Appel. I just think she's really been caught on several occasions, and she's not a right back, so she lacks the pace to deal with all those runs she's facing. It really makes sense to me, though.
Game will continue. 4 minutes to be played into the box, but it is nicely cleared out by Faustina Nyamiedu.
A good call, and Halifax Queens really dealing with all those aerial, battles. We've seen Epiphany Warriors win free kick in very, very promising areas, very, very deep into the defensive area of Halifax Queens, but they've managed to clear all, those dangers.
Halifax Queens come forward yet again, but this time the pass is so untelling. Cynthia J picks it up, lays on their pass into the middle, and it's now Nyako's pass to the far side that keeps Halifax Queens on their toes with an easy clearance. They seem to be employing a lot of the long searching balls, Halifax Queens. An unfair challenge, and Halifax Queens will walk away with the free kick. A free Ejewa. She has been quite a tormentor in the middle for Halifax Queens.
Yeah, her presence has really caused, Epiphany Warriors to lose quite a number of balls over the Akosia Jewa, like you rightly mentioned. Some long leaves over there. She's very good on and off the ball in distraction, to the build-up from Epiphany Warriors. Into the
18-yard box. Epiphany will clear their lines nicely. Good effort from Deborah Nyako. Halifax Queens not in a haste to go forward, keeping their composure. Captain for Epiphany does well to keep it to herself. She lays on the pass and now through the middle. It looks quite frightening when they're coming forward. Epiphany Warriors. Grace Edumadze, almost always a part of that attack from the middle.
She's the paciest they've got on the pitch, Epiphany Warriors, and I don't know why they are not putting her through, more often. Just play her through the channels, and that's her strength. That's what she wants as a winger. She loves to run, use her trickery, and then also pays to cause havoc.
Moves foot up, but referee says play on. It's been quite an interesting first half with both sides giving off their best. Epiphany once again come forward with another opportunity, throw in by Precious. And Ejewa gets the ball first. There's a run for it, a trip from behind. An unfair challenge that was, very unintentional, clipping the goalkeeper, or the goal scorer I should say, Rita Duku, from behind.
Yeah, I don't think there was any malice in that one. She had her eyes fixated on the ball, and you could see the pace at which they both jet off.
Then Theresa Ano apologizes to Rita, and game will continue. Salifu long ball in. Booted out nicely. We've done 45 minutes in the first half. And they come forward again. Millicents brought down. A fair challenge, says the assistant referee. Long pass through the middle there from Mifri Ejewa. Through the middle once again. This time is a long searching ball, but too many yellow shirts get to the ball. Precious lays on a pass. Unfortunately, Jacqueline could not take the advantage. Coming in to help, Deborah Nyako. Again, the effort goes wayward.
Sometimes struggle to find grip, both teams, especially with Epiphany Warriors, with how they love to play, especially when they set up with a 4-4-2 flat. So they've not really seen the best out of their playmaker, Deborah Nyako. She dictates play for them usually. I think the robust midfield of Halifax Queens has really, been destructive to their setup.
3 minutes of add-on time. Says our fourth official, Mansa Homi. Oh, that was a push from behind. The referee says play on. Epiphany will go forward.
Put a eventually. In the process.
She's up.
Player.
I think that was a dangerous ball, to start off with. That earlier tackle, from the left-hand side. That was it. They're still sticking to the high line, Epiphany Warriors, despite being caught unaware a couple of times so far in this first half.
Free kick advantage to Epiphany Warriors. Long ball in by Precious. Obvious clearance by Halifax. And then it's booted away. We've done the 3 minutes of add-on time. Referee Sofa Azuma brings the half to an end. Interesting game it has been. First 45 minutes, end-to-end stuff. Opportunities created. Goalkeeping has been up to it, but one slip on the part of goalkeeper for Epiphany Warriors, Safiatu Salifu, did them in. And at halftime, it's Epiphany Warriors 0, Halifax Gueens 1. It's match day 11 in the Malta Guinness Women's Premier League, as this afternoon is the turn of Epiphany Warriors as they take on Halifax Gueens. Epiphany Warriors in white. Early incursion by Halifax Gueens, ably led by their captain Millicent, to no avail. But when the opportunity gets to the opposing team, they do their best to cross the center line and then put pressure on their opponents. That was the first cross dealt with. The return of the shot on target chance was ably missed, with goalkeeper Sonia on complete guard duty. There was nothing she could have done about that had that ball gone in. But as a feature of the first 45 minutes, pendulum swinging from one end of the field to the other. And anytime Halifax Queens come forward, as their captain Millicent Pokua, who leads by example. On one of the opportunities as they came down their left-hand flank, Queens got their chance that they wanted. Failed attempt by Safiatu to catch the ball first time. And it was Rita Doku who pounced on the rebound to put her side ahead. Nicely done. Safiatu failing woefully to deal with it first hand. Ball slipped under her. And all Rita Doku had to do was to pounce on the rebound to make sure that it entered the net fair square. So up by 1-0, a lot of chances were created, but it was Sofa Azuma, the center referee, who brought proceedings to an end after an interesting first half.
and also in 1v1 situations are always dangerous to deal with, and that's what they are trying to capitalize on.
Free kick advantage. It could pose a problem for Halifax Gueens. Goalkeeper issuing out instructions. Sonia, compared to her opposite number, has been on a holiday. Nicely floated, free kick in. Goalkeeper goes down. It's still kept in play though by Halifax Gueens. Captain takes the initiative. Over the line he goes for a throw-in.
It seems that goalkeeper is in some sort of pain over there after that failed clearance, and that was the earlier free kick from Deborah Nyako into the box, and there was no pressure at all, but I think she collided with her own player. That's Rita Duku. She would need some medical attention, I believe, but they've been decent defensively. Halifax Gueens, they've been okay. Earlier on we saw them posing all the threat, the attacks, but now in the last 5 minutes or so they've had all the defending to do, but they've responded equally very well.
Goalkeeper Sonia Kobina Nora is still down. A bit of a clash with one of her players when the free kick was taken. "16 minutes gone in the first half. Still goalless here at the Prisons Bostal AstroTurf. And Sonia seems to be okay. Referee Sofa Azuma has seen to that. And so game will continue with a throw-in. Advantage Queens. Millicent initiating another of those attacks. Ball has been brought down nicely, but then eventual clearance into touch for a throw-in. Millicent with a throw. Poorly controlled. Yet another throw-in to Halifax. Flag has gone up, and the advantage will go the way of Epiphany Warriors.
They've been very aggressive, Halifax Gueens. That's one aspect you can see they've really improved. In the first half, you wouldn't, or in the first round of the league, you wouldn't see that about them. In games they lost, they were losing the 50-50 battle. But this afternoon, they're impressive with how they've got about that, winning all the 50-50 balls, and then also pressing very, very high, forcing mistakes of the Epiphany Warriors defense.
Nice cross there from Millicent, but there's nobody there in contention. They will try and regather as they come forward. There's a long shot on target, and Safia to the rescue.
It's about the third time we've seen them strike the ball from such a distance. The last one just hit the woodwork, which nearly caught Safia off guard. And
appeals for the free kick, but referee says game should continue. Halifax Gueens also give the ball away.
you can see why the technical bench of Epiphany Warriors look furious. They were thinking that should have been a foul, which myself I was thinking that should have been a foul going the way of Epiphany Warriors, but I think that was at the hindsight of the referee, who just didn't notice that.
Game will continue. Drop ball situation. Safiatu Salifo. She's been very impressive in the first 19 minutes of this game. Kicks the ball out. Can Millicent keep it in play? She does, and Halifax will say thank you very much as they come forward now. Here's an opportunity. Jacqueline. Good turn. Yes, Letitia. Pushed forward nicely. Precious is getting a lot more involved in the game now, but that eventual pass, referee noticed an infringement in the process. Player goes down. Was she tripped or kicked from behind?
As I was thinking she collided with her own player, but the referee thinks otherwise, and that's a move of the the flick with a nutmeg again, and that's it with her own player. And that was Deborah Nyako, who was thinking that Faustina Tiwa was just going to leave that ball to her for her to deal with it.
Obviously in pain there, Faustina. Referee still thinks she would give the advantage to Epiphany. Opportunity once again for Epiphany Warriors. We've got two players behind the ball. Precious is one of them. It's a long kick into the 18-yard box and eventually cleared away by Rita.
Aqua shouldn't have done that, but again the referee decides to keep her cards in the pocket. But again, it's a free kick in a promising area where you should expect Epiphany Warriors to try and get something out of this one. I've said it, whoever scores the first goal would really have a major impact in the final result of this game.
It's a free kick advantage to Epiphany. It's long, it's deep, goalkeeper beaten, but eventually had to rely on the defense for the clearance. Epiphany still have that intent of getting close to goal. Long pass to the far end, and that's a very lovely pass. A tricky one at that, into the 18-yard box. A shot gathered nicely by goalkeeper Sonia. She seems to have recovered from that early injury scare.
Prince, what about that for a pass from the centre back Janet Amewudu, to find Grace, and she does so well, to check onto her left foot, which is a weaker foot actually, but that wasn't going to trouble the goalkeeper at all. She had options to have passed that ball as well, but it tells you the level of confidence these players sometimes play with.
Queens on the threshold of an attack, a shot on target. Safiatu failed to deal with it first time, but eventually gathers no problems at all.
She's been their best player so far. Those opening 23 minutes or so.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But she has competition now because the first choice goalkeeper from last season got injured, went for a surgery. She's now back in training.
Good ball control by Letitia, but the ball is taken away from her. And Safiatu, as always, alert. Yes, Precious. Precious goes past one. There's a pass through the middle. That's good thinking. And Epiphany at this stage will try and open up the game as they switch play from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, where it is easily picked up by Janet Ameudo. Careful build-up by Epiphany Warriors, finding women in open spaces. Welcome back to the game. It's the second half. We just kicked off and we are witnessing an interesting encounter between Epiphany Warriors and Halifax Gueens. First half ended 1 goal to the good for Halifax Gueens. This time we'll be seeing Epiphany Warriors play from left to right in the all-white outfit.
We have less than 45 minutes to dig and get the win here. So far this season they've not lost any games at home, so you can just imagine the amount of pressure on them in the remaining minutes.
Getting her head to the ball there was Sandra Sari. She came on during the last stages of the first half. Clearance away by Epiphany Warriors. They coming forward. Epiphany Warriors are lying third on the Southern Zone League table. A table that is seeing Police Ladies and Hazakas Ladies go neck to neck for the top spot. Player down, a little bit of an injury worry. Just a slight knock there. She will be up on her feet and she will be ready to go because they need her skills, especially at goal scoring. That's Rita Doku, the lady responsible for getting the only goal of the match so far for Halifax Gueens. Takes over in the middle and then it's pushed on by Esther Boache. Pendulum seems to have swung in the opposite direction. This time it's Halifax Queens who are doing a lot of the pressing at this stage. Tidied up nicely in defense. It's now the turn of Epiphany Warriors to come forward. And this they will do gladly. Unfortunately, give the ball away. Thank you very much, says Halifax Queens. Can she keep it in play? Yes, she can. Nicely done by Gloria Fuswa. Ball back to Gloria. Trying to get in the cross. The action will swing to the other side. First things first, nicely put over the line for a throw. Quickly effected the throw. It's across into the middle. Again, the idea was good from Jessica, but there was nobody there to finish it off.
Yeah, because obviously that was Letitia J who started the attack for them. No one in the box to connect to that heavy cross from Jessica Piasamwen. It looks like already we've seen her pushing up the field, playing more as an attacking midfielder now than she did centrally in the first half. And now you'll be thinking that they wouldn't only want to attack through the middle, but then also make good use of the attackers, their PC wingers. That's look at that. So much strength being exhibited there by Akusia. Such a very, very bulky and strong lad, isn't she? If you're an Epiphany Warriors fan, you'll be hoping they don't concede the second goal. Could make it a very, very tall order for them.
It's a free kick. Oh, that went too high. No opportunity for goal scoring, but a welcome opportunity for Epiphany to make a few changes to their squad. So Jacqueline goes off, she's played her part. Place has been taken by Loretta Echan Afo. Still have players wanting to join their colleagues on the field of play. Victoria Osei is getting ready to come on. She's taking the place of Petite Deborah Nyako. And I'm sure there's one more substitution to go before the game will continue. Gifty Osei will also be coming onto the field of play. She's taking the place of Precious Pepra Nyako. Game continues, and we'll find out in a minute the reasons behind the changes that have been made by Epiphany Warriors. 3 at a go, but game will continue as all kept in play. Queens will leave it to run over the line. Welcome corner kick.
That was quite smart from the number 9 shirt, Letitia J, the max lady for Epiphany Warriors. You know, it was a smart way she won that corner, but we've seen them, you know, with so many corners and set pieces in dangerous areas in the first half. Not really seen them attack it with some sort of aggression.
Corner kick quickly affected. Oh! So unfortunate when it mattered most. Grace Edumadze fell down. Good recovery. Epiphany will still come forward. Here's Apia. Falling down heavily on that occasion was Gifty Osei.
Yeah, and the corporate had to be Wahab Saida too. You can see the nutmeg over there, just trying to squeeze away past her. She only had one option than to bring her down. And again, another free kick. We've spoken about a number of chances, you know, they've gotten from such situations, but failed to make it count.
It's drilled in straight at goalkeeper, just over the top. Sonia had it covered all the way.
And that was nearly the equalizer from the centre back. That's Cynthia Ej. Just look at that, the power, yeah, and the technique. Looked more like a knuckleball over the year, you know, through the laces. Just struck that one.
What move there from Halifax Gueens? Throw-in effected by Captain Millicent. Didn't go too far. The opportunity comes the way of Epiphany once again to see whether they can go through the middle. Eventually, it's booted away. Sandra traps the ball nicely. It's a battle. Ball has been taken away from Sandra. It's a daring run now. Nicely done. It goes over the line. Good work by Gloria.
Warriors are beginning to push the opponents backwards, you know, trying to put them under siege, and you could see them resort to the counter-attacking football for the remaining minute of this game. They have some, you know, fresh players being introduced, and they are beginning to gain some dominance in the attacking areas.
Here's a throw. It goes over the line. Second round of the Women's Premier League promises to be a lot more exciting and a lot more engaging, as the battle to stay in contention within the top 3 or top 4 positions looks very, very cagey indeed. Police ladies, Azakas ladies on 21 points. They play in their matches tomorrow. Epiphany follow. They are on 20 points. A win for them today see them keeping close tabs to the current league leaders. Lying fourth on the table as the Army ladies. They engage police ladies in an all-Sessa encounter. Sandra straight into the tummy of the Halifax Queens player. She goes down in some pain.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Gloria Fosua was at the receiving end.
That's quite unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate.
Ooh.
And very unintentional as well.
Yeah, and I think the medics will be attending to her in a jiffy, but he said that was quite unfortunate. It was a ball aimed towards the 18-yard box of Halifax Queens, but unfortunately just made contact with the tummy, of Gloria Fosua. I think she should be fine. She should be fine.
There was some power in that, and I'm sure she felt it. It was also close to us in commentary position, and so the impact really felt.
Yeah, you could feel it, and that's what she's done all day. Despite playing as a left winger, we've seen her track back a couple of times to help with defensive duties for Halifax Queens, and that's what gives them the advantage, because with the ball it's more of a 4-3-3, without the ball it's more of a 4-5-1.
It's a long throw by Sandra, and the ball will roll over the line. No problems at all for Halifax Queens. Still enjoying their slender 1-0 advantage.
Epiphany Warriors has really lacked the cutting edge up front. It looked a bit toothless for me. There's a side that love to score goals, they love to play some exciting football, but I think it's been some good job done by Halifax Queens this afternoon defensively.
Yeah, timely clearance. The pressure is on Halifax Queens now, and that was that missed opportunity. Quite a glorious one to add that. Thankfully, Halifax Queens have Gloria Fosua back on the field as the corner kick is taken. The pass through the middle, looking for that shot, and then it's cleared out. Opportunity for Halifax Queens now. Can she go past the marker? Good timing for the clearance. And then it's an opportunity for the other team to go the other way, but then they give the ball away too easily. Queens will say thank you very much. Declare from defense. Nice flip, nice takeover by Saidatu. Footing at the very last minute there in terms of the clearance.
Well, that was the incident again, and shockingly the decision rather goes the way of the Epiphany Warriors. Just a look at that. And Saidatu, quite skillful she is, and it's not surprising that she dons the number 10 jersey for Halifax Queens. Seen her a couple of times in action, and she's just a joy to watch. And I feel if this knock should lead to her substitution, then perhaps the Halifax Queens will be missing her services, which will be a big blow to them, a very huge blow to them.
So let's recap the goal that separates the two sides. That was a sweet build-up from Halifax Queens, and Richard Doku in the right place at the right time to ensure that the ball was firmly planted in the net after a lot of the play had been seen from Epiphany Warriors. It was Halifax. Kiss you right there back. Game continues. Referee's whistle has already gone, and so we'll have to retake that.
Trying to increase the intensity now, especially with the way they press and the way they try to win the ball as well. We've seen them being a bit more dominant in the second half than we saw in the first half, Epiphany Warriors, but I think it's just the goal that's missing from their game now.
Goalkeeper comes out, Sonia misses completely, but helped with the clearance. And then it's taken over by Queens as they dash down the right-hand side of their attack. Always involving their captain in the process. This time she wins a throw-in. And then eventually down goes Saidatu Wahab again.
Yeah, she's been subjected to all the heavy tackles, and it tells you how pivotal she's been for Halifax Queens. Earlier on, we saw her on the turf. You know, she received treatment. She's back on, and just look at that. Again, this time, Janet Ameudo, clattering into her. And that's one aspect of a game that you'd always struggle to deal with. She's quite pacey, knows when to, move the ball, knows when to dash, knows when to pass the ball.
And so for the first time in the game, we see referee so far issuing a yellow card, and the yellow card has been shown to Janet Ameudo.
I think she's been lenient enough, and she feels that enough is enough now. It's been very, very aggressive, throughout the game, and it's surprising we've not seen any card being flashed until just this tackle on Saidatu Wahab.
So far has showed that she's quite a fair referee, but also very firm when she has to be. And there we saw her commanding the players to move back, get into positioning. The game must continue. We have done 1 hour of playing time. We've got half an hour to go. Queens looking for an opportunity. Wasted effort. There will be a goal kick advantage. Epiphany Warriors. We've not seen a lot of the Epiphany Warriors goalkeeper, Safiatu. And Warriors give the ball away. Trap nicely, good turn, good play, good thinking from Gloria Fusua. They go through the middle and then to the far side where there will be that dash. Good step in there. Epiphany Warriors take charge of the game as they come forward now. Loretta. Good recovery from Loretta. Referee's whistle has already gone. And obviously Epiphany Warriors bench is not too happy. They had the advantage. They were moving into gaping positions. Epiphany, that's a good run. Checks in, sends in the cross straight into the waiting arms of goalkeeper Sonia Kopna Nora. Quite a handful of the crowd here, fans who are eager to watch these two sides, and not too sure whether it is ironic or otherwise, but the president of Hazaka's Ladies is watching this game here with us.
Season.
That's a long throw, nicely done. Letitia has it, and then she wastes the opportunity.
Quite disappointed, and you can see the faces of the players on the bench. And There's a player with 7 goals this season. No, high standards for her. You could see what she was trying to do. There was a player in the box who could have attacked that. I think that ball lacked a bit of precision from Letitia J.
Game continues. We've done 63 minutes in the second half. And it's an opportunity coming the way of Epiphany. She checks in, can she get the support? Too many yellow shirts around her. She lays on the pass and then the shot goes over the top.
Tells you desperate times now, Prince. And they're searching for the goal. They keep on knocking, they keep on asking all the relevant questions. That was a good move from Jessica Apia somewhat, to cut back and try to feed that, to Letitia J. You look at her positioning, she could be doing better from there, just trying to, hit that first time of asking.
Halifax Queens on the offensive. Give the ball back to Epiphany. And Epiphany, long pass forward. Is she onside? Yes, she is. Timely clearance. And she definitely had to do that stretch to get the ball out of harm's way. Cecilia Akwa. Epiphany will still keep fighting. They need to get back in contention. As Josiah rightly said, they would want to keep the pressure on Hazakas ladies. On Police ladies, it's a chance! Crossbar saves the day. Effort coming from Diza to Kasim.
It was this run, Prince, from Jessica Piasamoah. Just look at her, no one tracking her, and she ghosted everyone there, nearly a penalty. And just look at that ball forced kindly to her again. About credit to the goalkeeper Sonia Kobna-Nora getting something on that one. A bit deflector if you should ask me, but it tells you how desperate Epiphany Warriors are. They've not lost at home all season. It explains it. And just look at that. She did well.
And they come forward yet again. Can she get to the ball? Jessica earlier on. Effort. Nearly fetched the equalizing goal. She beat the goalkeeper, could not beat the crossbar.
Now they are committing more players forward, Epiphany Warriors.
Trying to keep the pressure on Halifax, but Halifax have other ideas. It's Millicent who picks it up. Seydatu takes over. Millicent has continued her run. This time they opt to come through the middle, where the ever-present Ifriye is. Quick turn, laser pass through, and that's an opportunity. Flagger stayed down. Can she hit the target? She goes for the curl and goes for glory. The moment Gloria Fusua picked it up, it was obvious something special was coming.
Obviously, Prince, but that was a beautifully worked goal. Positioning of the Epiphany defense, non-existent over there. But what about that for a finish? Goalkeeper in no man's land. But just look at that. That was a defense splitting pass. That was a moment you knew danger was looming. And 1-2 touches. Just picks a spot. Just bends that one into the far left corner. And now it is literally a tall order for Epiphany Warriors.
Clearly, when they came out for the second half, they had made their intentions known. They kept the pressure on Epiphany Warriors. And on that occasion, it had to take that beautiful curler. The heroine of the moment in your shot, Gloria Fusua. Two goals to the good. They are obviously denting the pride of Epiphany Warriors, who in their last 5 matches have not lost.
Yeah, and to add to that, they've won their last 3 games on a bounce, and it's quite surprising to see them losing at this stage where the league is gradually gathering momentum and it's becoming even more competitive. And that's the first time they have also picked 2 balls from their net in a game. That's not so typical of Epiphany Warriors, but that's the competitive nature of the Malta Guinness Women's Premier League.
Sonia will continue with the build-up for Queens. Obviously inspired by that second goal, they would love to go forward yet again. Captain Millicent. All headed away, but they'll still keep the pressure. Rita Doku, ball has been taken away from her this time around. There's a long ball forward into the 18-yard box. This could be the return they were looking for. They have clawed back some pride. Epiphany Warriors, through their captain Letitia, have pulled the goal back.
Yeah, her 8th goal of the season, and she's been the most threatening player for Epiphany Warriors this afternoon. Unfortunately, she's not had the right services. She's not been fed the right balls, and these are the kind of balls that you feed to her, and she's definitely going to punish the opponent. But that was some good work from the left-hand side. Served on the platter. That was quite difficult to miss and to score, and she made sure to have the deficit for her side.
Epiphany Warriors 1, Halifax Queens 2. Sonia, the goalkeeper for Halifax, had no ideas. Queens will come forward yet again. They are unperturbed by the fact that the opponent has pulled a goal back. Jewa's long pass to the far right. It's looking good as they come forward. Could this be goal number 3? The pass is laid on. It goes to the scorer of the second goal. And unfortunately, the impact of Gloria Fosua this time did not cause any problems. Ball still in play. Queens have the advantage of a throw-in. Second half has been more than interesting. We've got goals, 1 goal on each side. And the ladies are still roaring and ready to go. On the offensive now is Epiphany. There's the captain, Letitia. Ball goes over the line.
Fans are furious. That should have been a corner kick, in my opinion. Yeah,
it should have been a corner kick.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah,
But that was it, very clear. You could see Letitia J tried to guide that ball. Initially, she had opted to hit it, but that was at a point where it was a bit obscure for the lineswoman.
Meanwhile, on the field on the far side, it's a careful run on the flanks, now trying to come through the middle. Fosua goes into the 18-yard box. Can he go around? Can she go around her marker? She does, but she hits the side post. End-to-end stuff here this afternoon. It's a game that has really lived up to its billing, lived up to expectation. She sets up a pass. It just lacked the direction. Near miss.
Nearly. That should have been 2-2 if you should ask me. But again, the 2 forward players combining for Epiphany Warriors. The goalkeeper again beaten at that point. So unlucky.
Halifax Queens living dangerously and nearly paying for it. Epiphany Warriors are buoyed up by the fact that they believe they can get themselves back into the game. Yes, another pass through the middle. Another opportunity. There's a player waiting in the 18-yard box. And eventually it's cleared out. But the run was a very timely one on the part of Jessica.
Interesting. Great strength being exhibited by Akosia Ejiwa. It's a level of competition for me that, the competitive nature of the Women's Premier League. And we've spoken about how, these teams actually turn out to be the feeder club for the under-20 and then also the women's national team.
Yes, Josiah, I couldn't agree with you more. You just can't take your eye off the action. If Epiphany are able to get themselves back on level pegging and at least draw this game, a point will do them some world of good. At least they'll still stay in contention. Long ball forward for the player, was in an offside position, but the flag stays down. He fires in the shot. Sonia! Second time lucky.
Friends, that's world class. That is just exceptional from Sonia, the goalkeeper for Halifax Queens. And you know, they were caught napping for a split second over the high line, getting them exposed. And it was a good first touch with a tie. You know, trying to find that bottom left corner. And Sonia stuck to her line and managed to keep that one out.
Picked up by Queens. They come forward. Tall, lanky, Ifriye, Ejewa joining the attack as she comes forward. She manages to get in a left-footed cross. Not the best of crosses, but it still stays in play. It's gathered nicely by Theresa Ano. And then eventually the finishing from Ejewa, not the best.
They're trying to wind down the time. That's what you're doing, and you could see the tempo for Halifax Queens wasn't like it was in the first half. We've seen them, you know, lower the tempo a bit, and it's understandable because they've got much or most of the defending to do in the second half.
But Halifax will not give up the fight, not just yet. It's been some superlative play from them. As we told you earlier, they occupy the last but one position. Out of 10 matches, they've managed to win only one. A win today will be the second for Halifax Queens and probably do them a whole world of good as they try and lift themselves out of a relegation-threatened spot. It's been more of a topsy-turvy season for some of the clubs. Faith Ladies are last but 3 on the league table. Lovely pass from Letitia. Jessica blocked in the process. Jessica fights and wins it. It's still an advantage. Eventually, it's cleared away. And Fosua leaves the ball behind, but she manages to pick it up. And Jewa will come in to support Halifax Queens. Unfortunately, Sandra wins the day. Trying to thread a pass through. On this occasion, it didn't work.
I've seen them come close a couple of times, and Sonia goes to the ground, same as one of the defenders from Halifax Queens. It tells you how, you know, draining the game has been. You know, physically demanding from these players.
Goalkeeper down, defender down. Meanwhile, Halifax Queens will be bringing on some fresh limbs. A little bit of time being taken on these 2 injuries. Cecilia Aqua is up. And now there's the goalkeeper to worry of. So Khadija Beidu Abando gets ready to join her colleagues on the field. I believe that Theresa Ano is the player who has gone off.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a heavy collision there, but that was that moment she went down.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, nobody
no,
touched her.
Perhaps it could be, you know, the effect of all the shots and the dive she's had to pull throughout the game.
It comes with a job.
Yeah, of course it does. It's really been, you know, straining for her this afternoon, and they've really put her to quite a lot of work. And just look at that. That was a hit that could have been 2-2 easily, but for her level of expertise, and that was the moment. If you're a defender, then you know your confidence skyrockets after that huge save. You'd want to put your body and everything on the line to defend that lead.
So she's up on her feet, and that's good news. She's conceded 1 goal. The opposite number has conceded 2.
And you talk about how huge of a win it would be for them if they're able to, you know, scale through with a scoreline. It would be very, very huge for them.
Sandra recovers nicely for Epiphany Warriors. Jessica does well. This time the pass is a bit too strong. Obviously closer to Sonia than the striker.
Usually it's been a bit problematic for them, you know, the passes into the channels, yet sometimes the options they pick out are quite reasonable, but then, you know, the strength of the pass turns out to be an issue.
Slowly game wears on. We'll let you know how many minutes played in a minute. The ball goes over the line for a throw-in. This time Halifax Queens have the advantage.
Yeah, and Letitia J is growing frustrated. It's here having an altercation with the lineswoman. There's a side that went close to 2 years without losing in Division 1. So it's not their thing to lose a game, and that's why it's the Premier Women's, you know, division.
Nicely done by Halifax Queens. They come forward. It's a long telling pass, and they've got the ladies to latch onto that. Yes, say that to Wahab. She needs the support, and the support will come from Efriye Ejewa. Now trying to go through the middle. She still has the advantage. She's still pushing forward. That's a nice run there from Faustina Nyami Edu. And eventually down goes Rita Doku.
It's another misplaced pass from Epiphany Warriors, and these are the chances you couldn't make count, you know, especially if you're down and you're chasing the equalizer.
They come forward looking strong as they do. Here's Jessica, goes past her marker. She manages to drill in the cross. Goalkeeper Sonia to the rescue, and this was timely enough.
Yeah, that was a good move from the right hand side, you know, from Jessica Pierce-Samoa. But the first touch, you could see Letitia J right behind her. Perhaps she should have, you know, at least communicated. The ball could have fought kindly to her.
It's a throw-in, quickly effected. Like we said earlier on, it's end-to-end stuff. Can really take your eye off the game. Good recovery, this switch play to the flanks. Can she get to the ball? She can. There's Jessica. She goes past one, goes past the other, lays on the pass, and then is drilled from behind. The connection, and they are back in it.
Friends, this is something else we are witnessing here, and Jessica Apia-Asamoah, she's just doing it all alone. She's just tearing apart the defense of Halifax Queens, and this was all down to her hard work. But then just look at that, and I think yes, it was the right call for the flag to have stayed down. But what a game she's had this afternoon, Jessica Apia-Asamoah. From the right hand side, she switched to the left hand side, and she's run tirelessly all day. And just look at that, just, you know, goes between two players with so much ease. the first touch wasn't there. The shot and the connection from close range, and they've worked hard for it. They've been probing for the last 20-30 minutes in the second half, and now they have the all-important equalizer. And like we said, they are free scoring side. You talk about Epiphany Warriors from their days in the Division 1. They score lots and lots of goals, and they have so many goals in them, and today we're seeing how good they can be on the offensive. Unfortunately, defensively, they've not been resolute like they've been since the season started, and that's why we saw them go 2 goals down, and we're thinking it was going to be a tall order for them. Yes, it's been, but they put themselves in that situation, and they've managed to bail themselves out of it, and now they could go for the winner itself.
So the game will continue. We're into the last 5 minutes of the game, and interesting times these are. Trying to go around the defense again. This time is going to be very, very tough and cagey. All eyes will be on how to get the leader, the winner. Epiphany Warriors, they're looking good. Lovely pass through. Here's Jessica. Point blank shot. Point blank save. And Sonia ends up with a little bit of an injury, but what an opportunity. And the transformation by Epiphany Warriors, especially in the second half.
And it's all about this chap. It's all about this young lady.